A very good afternoon to you. Trust you're doing well this 11th day, of November 2022. It is a pleasure to have you right here on Newsfeed. My name is Flora Limuki. Welcome to the broadcast. Well, we are having
well, do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
And use of insecticide-treated mosquito nets, and the scale-up of skilled birth attendants. However, in this progress, pneumonia claimed the lives of 672,000 children in 2019 alone. More than one child every hour died as a result of pneumonia. The uptake of child health promotion and prevention interventions, along with access to quality newborn and child health care services and treatment, remains challenge across all levels of care. I want to commend our partners and other stakeholders for the role they have played in supporting government efforts towards improvement of health in newborns, children and adolescents in the country. Committing investments in newborn and child health is key to achievement of Vision 2030 and a priority for the government of Kenya, as reflected in the Constitution and universal health coverage priorities. Ladies and gentlemen, globally, there is a renewed momentum and support for countries to commit to invest in the child health. Protective interventions such as exclusive breastfeeding, adequate complementary feeding and vitamin A supplementation provides the foundation of keeping children healthy and free of pneumonia, while preventive interventions such as immunizations, safe drinking water, sanitation and hygiene, and reduce household air pollution prevent child from becoming susceptible to the illness. The use of optimum treatments like oral antibiotics for the management of pneumonia, injectable antibiotics, and oxygen for the management of severe pneumonia should be scaled up to reach all 6 children and prevent unnecessary.
Kenya Navy veterans are holding a reunion ceremony in Mombasa held for the first time since independence from the Royal Navy to Kenya Navy. The team, which has veterans retired at different times after serving the country, is celebrating its service as well as amplifying their rights as former public servants. Let us now join our Mombasa correspondent Paul Munio for more on that.
I can't hear them. Here we are at a Pavilion Hotel here in Mombasa County, and of course what is happening here, as you can see behind me, is that we are having the Kenya Navy veterans, war veterans, who are reuniting today for the first time since they joined, or rather they came up with a team or a conference. And of course I want to speak to them. Remember, this is the first time that they are meeting. This is the Kenya Navy war veterans who will be convening here for the first time. And of course I just want to hear from them their insights and what they are looking forward to. Well, welcome sir. I want to speak to you and tell us nini naendelea huku na ni kipi ambacho kimewaleta hapa. Naelewa kwamba wewe ulikuwa mmoja wa wale ambao walikuwa wameanzilisha Kenya Navy kutoka kwa Royal Navy. Tueleze ilikuwa vipi kufanya kazi katika ama kuanzilisha Kenya Navy?
Asante sana. Mimi naitwa Joseph Mwenje, mmoja wa waanzilishi ambao waliajiriwa kuanzisha Kenya Navy baada ya kupata uhuru. Navy ilianzishwa 1964 December 12. Wakarecruit officers wa kuenda ngambo. Alafu 1965 wakaanza kurecruit first entry ambaye ilianzisha Navy. Mimi na huyu mwenzako Kariuki Kariuki Dingeta akiwa mmoja wapo, mimi na yeye first entry. Tulichukuliwa kutoka, tulifanya interview Nairobi, Bula Camp. Wakati huo tukakuja hapa Mombasa May tarehe 10, tukawa enlisted 1965 May. Tukaanzisha training hapo, tukafundishwa. Ilikuwa ngumu kwa maana tulikuwa watu kutoka skuli, young men. Tumepata uhuru, ni wazungu tu, sisi tulitupwa katikati wa wazungu. Ilikuwa inaitwa Royal Navy Training Team. Ikaanza kufundisha sisi kazi. Tulifaulu na tukawa askari wa jeshi wa maji, na tukaendelea tukachukua over kutoka kwa wazungu in a period of 1 year. Tukawa pia sasa sisi tunafundisha wale ambao wanakuwa recruit. Tulikuwa tuna recruit watu kutoka every place, every corner Kenya, na tukawa train. Na wale mimi nilitrain wamekuwa trainer of trainers. Nilifanya kazi miaka 21, nikaretire 1986 after serving for 21 years.
Asante sana. Kwa sababu ya muda ningependa sasa nialike mwingine aweze kutueleza, je, miaka hii tangu mlipo staafu na wale ambao walistaafu mapema, je, imekuwa vipi na ni kipi ambacho kimewaleta siku hii ya leo hapa?
Imekuwa kama alivyoeleza ndugu Mwenje ya kwamba tumeona tumefanya kazi kwa serikali. Wengi wetu wamepigana vita, wengi wetu tumehakikisha kwamba Navy imesimama kulingana na kanuni za serikali inavyotaka. Sasa baadhi kutoka 1965 to date wako ambao wameretire, hata wengine wameretire mwaka jana baada ya kuserve. Kama mimi binafsi nilifanya kazi miaka 37 ndio nikaretire 2012. Na tumekuwa hapo tukiona kwamba vile tuko nje, retirement sio kwamba ndio kumalizika katika maisha. Baadhi yetu wako engineers, wako businessmen, wako contractors, wako farmers, okay? Tukoona huku nje tutasaidia wananchi ama tutajisaidia namna gani? Na katika hapa tumekuwa katika chanzo chetu cha ONC ni kwamba mmoja wetu kama huyu ametoka Busia, Butere. Huyu ni mtu wa Central. Okay, Central. Na sisi ni watu wa Mas. Sasa owing to the fact ya kwamba Navy iko kwa 001 Mombasa.
Asante sana. Yeah. Well, asante sana. Well, thank you so much, Limuke. That has been it. Remember, they are trying to amplify their rights here in the county and, of course, in the country at large. And, of course, we will be looking forward to having them on board, some other time. Well, thank you so much, Limuke. Back to you in the studio.
Well, thank you, Munio, for that as well. We move on where President William Ruto is expected to make his maiden visit to Baringo County Sunday for interdenominational prayers to be held in Kabarnet Ask Showground. Members of County Assembly led by Deputy Speaker Kipruto Kimosop have welcomed the visit, saying they expect Ruto to speak on challenges of insecurity and hunger affecting the county. His counterpart Kabarnet Town MCA Ernest Kibet is urging the president to address the issue of the Baringo University, which has become elusive for years.
Prayer that when you come around, let that one be the first word you mention in Baringo. Because Baringo needs to develop. Na tukiweza kupata University of Baringo, tutakuwa mbele.
The people of Baringo received the news with jubilation. We are very happy and we are very excited that His Excellency will be coming back to Baringo, not now as an aspirant, not as a deputy president anymore, but as a president of the Republic of Kenya, a commander in and meet you, Your Excellency. Related very well. Just that this county have, and we will be expecting here from you. We know you know. We have told you in many forums that the people of Mochongoi deeds. A matter that has been pushed. Know that now that you are in government, that matter will be expedited. Mentioned the Marikat Road, the Ainamoy Road. We have the Asla Fund, and we are happy that the person in Baringo everything else. The people will be of Baringo will be expecting to hear from you on the question of insecurity. It is a matter that has really bedeviled us. It is a matter that we hope that criminals, victims, bandits will be disarmed and
Former presidential aspirant who is also Roots Party leader George Wajakoya has called out President William Ruto over the plot by a section of UDA members of parliament to scrap off presidential term limits. Wajakoya says such a move will greatly claw back democratic gains made by the new constitution. Wajakoya, who was speaking while escorting the Roots Party candidate in Bungoma senatorial race for clearance, also asked the president to shun away from blaming former President Uhuru Kenyatta over collapsed economy, saying that he was part and parcel of the Jubilee government.
For Ruto, this is the message. You are sitting on that chair temporarily. Don't you dare bring in your shenanigans by saying that you want to, by sending in MPs with people like Farouk, that we are trying to find out whether this can be a hereditary government. Just sit there knowing that Uhuru has also been there and look at where Uhuru is. Now you are misjudging what Uhuru has been doing and you are doing it together. Sasa unasema Uhuru ndiye alifanya na ulikuwa na yeye. Hebu tuambie ulifanya nini wakati huo na Uhuru alifanya nini? Kama sio hivyo, you are all the same. I am the official opposition leader. We need young people in this country, people who are not tainted, but we are not going to accept recycling. And if we get the like-minded leaders like Wetangula, sisi watu wa eneo hii tutaenda mbali. I'm not saying I'm supporting his candidate, but I think with Wetangula as a visionary leader, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Raila Nyango as a visionary leader, then Professor Wajakoya as a climax leader.
Moya Member of Parliament Mary Maingi is accused is accusing the Kenya Kwanza government of giving them the short end of the stick in terms of appointments, despite the huge support they gave to President Ruto's candidature for the presidency. Speaking while donating food in Ngurubani Primary School, Maingi noted that despite Mwea having the highest number of voters, the Ruto-led administration did not consider any resident for an appointment. The legislator accused President William Ruto of sidelining the people of Mwea despite having forwarded some names that could be considered for government jobs. She, however, called on President to consider her constituents in the remaining appointments.
I never saw any of candidates from Mwea being appointed, but I'm still hopeful that something will be done. Mwea constituency is half the county of Kirinyaga. All the appointments are coming from Upper Kirinyaga. When they come from Dia, Dia has 3 wards. Mwea has 8 wards. And we see CESs and CASs and PSs coming from Dia, Geshogo, especially Geshogo and Dia, that's where they come from.
Samburu leaders have appealed to residents of Lorok not to revenge, aiming at restocking their livestock, which they have lost to cattle rustlers, and some to the ongoing drought. The area has been greatly affected by banditry attacks by suspected bandits believed to come from the neighboring county of Baringo, who have been terrorizing residents, leading to loss of lives and properties, resulting in devastating poverty. The leaders, led by Samburu Member of Parliament Naisula Lesuda, are urging the residents to stay calm as they collaborate with national government and non-government organizations in finding ways to assist the affected families on how to restock without going to revenge.
Hali hii ngumu watu wanaweza kusaidika.
Nashukuru pia timu ya CSI kwa ile kazi ambayo mmefanya kwa kukuja kusaidia jamii kufanya restocking kwa sababu ya drought na pia kwa mambo ya insecurity, na tungependa kuomba wafadhili wengine wengi ili waweze kukuja kusaidia ili tuweze kuinua maisha. Ukiona wamama wengi hapa ni wajane. Ni wajane kwa sababu ya insecurity. Pia vijana wetu hatutaki kwenda wafanye restocking, kwenda kuiba na kuua watu wengine. Wale ambao
himiza watu wetu waishi kwa amani, na bado tutakuwa pamoja na serikali na wale wote ambao wanaweka usalama. Tuko pamoja kama viongozi wa Samburu.
Human rights activists, including those fighting gender-based violence in Magarini, Kilifi County, have held demonstrations to protest what they say are increasing cases of defilement propagated by police officers. The activists who carried placards with different messages and sang songs demanding justice marched for 5 kilometers from Muyuwakaya to the chief's office in Marereni Market to demand that the officers who committed the vices to 2 young girls in separate cases be brought to book. They say the first case happened in January this year, while the second happened last month, and no action has been taken against the police officers till now.
Tumeona cases zingine ambazo zinafanywa katika county zingine za maaskari za head of department na zinachukuliwa haraka sana. Lakini cha kushangaza ni kwamba kesi ya Marereni ambayo imetendeka kuanzia Januari mpaka leo mwezi wa 10 sasa na tunaingia wa 11, hatua bado haijachukulika.
Sisi ofisa tukutegemea wewe, mtu yoyote akimwona polisi umkimbilia yule polisi bimana afanye nini asaidike. Leo yasikitika. Twasikitika nyoo zetu kwa sababu yule ofisa badala amsaidia yule mtoto, kisa ni nini? Ni ID. Mtoto wa miaka 14 amekwambia sina ID, twende nyumbani ni pale. Wewe ofisa ukasema kama huna pesa, huna ID, twende nikupeleke polisi. Yule mtoto akakubali, unaenda kwa sababu ni nino, unaenda kwa sheria za mikono za kusalama. Kumbe amekwenda pale yule ofisa ni jinamizi.
Tunaona hizi ninio serikali kubwa inalegeza, labda hazijapata habari. Sasa tunaona maybe through media hizi habari zitawafikia.
Tunajua kwamba IPOA tumewaalika na kuambia swala hili. Kilifi County ambayo imeangazia swala hili la kutafuta mbinu za kutafuta suluhisho ya hii shida, pia nao tumewahusisha katika hii process. Lakini kufikia sasa askari huyu hajakamatwa, bado yuko kwenye kazi ambalo ni tishio kwetu, maana yeye bado.
The National Association of Private Universities, in their bid to respond to the call for views by members of the public and other key stakeholders on education reforms by the Presidential Working Party, presented a number of proposals targeted at addressing the CBC implementation structure as well as university education financing. Beatrice Watare with the details.
Thank you so much. Karibuni.
The public forums that are in line with Article 10 and 232 of the Constitution brought together parents, education institutions, politicians, churches, students, among other key stakeholders concerned with education reforms.
It is important that the President found it worthy to start this working group so that at the end of the day, everybody in this country will have a chance.
As part of their memorandum to the Presidential Working Party, the National Association of Private Universities in Kenya, NAPOC, represented by the Secretary General and Pro-Chancellor Mount Kenya University, Dr. Gaitho, brought to attention the multifaceted nature of funding of universities in Kenya.
Those funding bodies or initiatives, or is it the lack of fund? Or is it the way we manage the little fund that is available? Since the creation and implementation of COOPS, it has taken itself as a body to place all students that are qualified to join the university, which is a beautiful thing. Unfortunately, their placement is not connected with the available fund that the University Funding Board has.
Further recommending that the government sponsorship for university education be formulated on the basis of deserving cases, affirmative action, and in support of government's development agenda.
Therefore, we are proposing that for funding to be reasonable, that COOPS must liaise with the University Funding Board, which will determine the amount of budget they have and the university and the differentiated unit cost. Otherwise, when we have to place everybody and fund everybody, we shall not be able to sustain that particular fund. Funds should be directed to the deserving cases, and funds by the government should be focused on government development agenda. Let us fund university programs, students who are going to the university, and whose end result will be to help the government achieve its development agenda.
Curtains came down Friday on public engagements for the Presidential Working Party on education reforms, which will now retreat to write their reports on their recommendations for the education sector. Reporting for TV47, my name is Beatrice Watare.
Moving on, the Kenya Union Domestic Hotels Education Institutions, Hospital and Allied Workers (GOtv) has raised concerns over the increase of number of Kenyans leaving the country in search for greener pastures. GOtv Secretary General Albert Njeru said over 200,000 Kenyans have so far applied for green card this year. A move, he said, it could be as a result of unemployment rate in the country, besides the massive brain drain. He challenged Ruto's government to be at the forefront of creating a conducive working environment to all Kenyans, and especially youths whom majority are jobless, and find a way forward for better Kenya where workers will feel appreciated.
We need to put into mechanism to have proper mechanisms of migration, where consultative efforts are being done both by the government, the private agency, and the workers' representative, so that we can put into mechanisms and proper policies and regulations that anybody moving out from this country as a migrant, as the necessary requirements, so that we can be able to get a return of our investment after the education.
The body of a middle-aged man was found this morning hanging from a tree in what is suspected to be a suicide case in Utawala's Githunguri area. According to eyewitnesses, the man who is a vendor has been showing signs of depression that might have caused him to end his life. Area residents blamed alcoholism and drug use for the increase in cases of life loss in the area. Police from the nearby Ruai police station arrived at the scene and collected evidence before picking the body. The incident shocked residents of the busy bus stage as the vendor was well known within the locality.
Sana. Alikuwa customer wangu. Ya asubuhi nimesikia tu jamaa amejinyonga, nikaja kushuhudia na nikaona ni kweli ameshajinyonga.
Ile kitu inachangia sana ni kujiachilia pombe. Huna familia, hiyo ni kitu imechangia na nimekuwa nikimwambia mara kwa mara. Pombe kitu ya kwanza, miraa, bangi na kujiachilia tu, unakaa kama mtu hana watu wao na uko na watu wenu na uko na kwenu. Mimi naweza sema ni pombe, unajiachilia tu, unakaa tu ovyo tu, unaona tu pombe ikimaliza.
Hii mambo ya kujinyonga, kujitoa uhai. Naweza shauri vijana wenzangu, mtu akiwa na stress, aombe ushauri hata kwa majirani bana.
And in sports, the much-awaited 2022-2023 season of the FKF Premier League is set to officially kick off on 19th November this year after 1 year hiatus. This is according to fixtures released by the FKF National Executive Committee. The opening day of the league, Tusker FC will start their title defense campaign away to Kakamega Homeboys, which finished the previous season in the second position. At the Buhungu Stadium, Kakamega Homeboys form will face a major test with the introduction of John Baraza as the new head coach, who is targeting to begin his tenure at the club with a victory against the 12-time champions. Other matches will see Ulinzi Stars play host to AFC Leopards